Somebody has to be on the internet telling you guys these things. It doesn't work that way. Hello, friends. This is Jims of the Jims TV. Thank you for stopping by, and you're welcome. How you guys doing? How's everything? So in today's video, we're just going to be talking about some of the things that we don't hear a lot of before relocating out of Africa. More like some of the things that we as Africans can relate to, things that we're not aware of until we relocate out of Africa and actually come into these Western countries, Asian countries, Europe, when we just leave Africa, the African continent, some of the things that shock us or some of the things that we are not really informed about until we leave the African continent. So, in recent times, we've had a lot of people relocating out of Africa, trying to get a better life or, trying to explore. So, it may not necessarily mean, oh, people are relocating just to get greener pastures. It could just be they are relocating just to see the other side of life, just to see the world, just as people from over here relocate to Africa to just experience the culture, experience the food, experience the life, and all of that. So it may not necessarily only be greener pastures, it could also be just exploring, getting a better education, then going back, because we have people who come over here, get a better education, and go back, or different things. People have different reasons for relocating. It could just be for health purposes. From the things I'll be talking about, it will be mainly America related because that is where I am, and this is where I know, right? Well, if you're African living in other countries, let me know where you live and let me know what applies to you or not. Okay. So for America, after doing a Google search, I found out that the top 5 African countries that have migrated from Africa to the US. Of course, we have to have Nigeria and Ghana among the top 5, which is actually true. We also have Kenya, I believe. Yes, so Nigeria and Ghana are there. Okay. In case you're watching me for the first time, hi, my name is Jumoke. I'm actually Nigerian born. If you hear me making reference to Ghana, I lived there for a while. So it's a no-brainer if I refer to the country from time to time because I mean that was where I relocated from to the US. I visited other African countries, mind you, but I've only lived in Ghana and Nigeria. Just in case you hear a lot of Ghana and Nigeria references, you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I just said all of that to establish my point. Now, there's nothing wrong with relocation. There's nothing wrong with, going out of your country for some time. If you want to go back, fine, go back to your country, fine. If you don't want to go back, that's also fine. But I've noticed that people who relocate out of Africa do not sometimes have some of these information. It's just like you have to come and taste it to see. You have to come and experience it to know. But I feel like a lot of people do not have this information. So when they come here, it's as though it's a shock to them. It's as if, hey, we're from this world. How is this happening? So some of these things, to the glory of God, I knew about them long before I relocated to the US. But I mean, there are still some things that will shock you because now you are in the system. Now you are here. Now you are experiencing it firsthand. So you know how it's not just theory. Some things are not just theoretical. You have to actually practice. You have to experience it. Okay. As always, I want you to converse with me in the comment section. I always appreciate those of you who take your time to explain certain things to me, who give examples, personal examples. You guys are a blessing to me. You guys make me want to, forge ahead on this channel. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Those of you who learned something, a thing or two. Some may drop comments, some may not. I still appreciate you guys. So yeah, the first thing a lot of people do not talk about per se, and that we in Africa cannot relate to, is childcare. In case you are watching me, you are not from Africa, so you don't know what I'm talking about. Back home in Africa, childcare is the least of our problems. It is the least, you guys, especially if you have parents who are still alive. Thank God. You have siblings, you have family, maybe from the village, you have distant cousins, anyway, they're all family, but you always have people. So back home in Africa, we have the liberty to, get someone from the village to come and live with us and also school and, better their life, but also help to take care of our children. We also have people who run agencies for domestic staff. So we pay them, we get the staff, they come to work for us, and everybody is living fine. We also have the people who are blessed to have their parents around, specifically their mothers, who come to live with them and they're fine. Their childcare is taken care of. We also have people who have younger siblings who come to stay with them, help in the house. I mean, you're in your siblings' house, so you have to help around and stuff. And then in turn, you take care of their children, your little nieces and nephews, right? So we have that at home. But over here in diaspora, over here in America specifically, childcare is one of the many problems that people who live in America have. Let us call it the way it is. If you're going to have children, if you're going to start a family, you have to consider childcare. It is very important. You have to look at your family dynamics. You have to say, oh, who is going to stay at home to take care of the children? How are we going to do it? Or where is the child going to go to school? How is the child going to be catered for? How is the child, not school per se, but how is the child going to go to daycare? Are we going to pay a nanny to come and sit in the house to take care of the child? A babysitter, that. So all of these considerations, you have to think very well about them. And these things don't come cheap. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal because everybody is busy in America. Even your parents, in quotes, are going to work. So they don't really even have time to sit down and babysit for you, if you get what I'm saying. So it's a completely different ball game over here. I mean, there's nothing wrong. You can take your child to daycare, you can get a babysitter, but be ready to pay for it because you pay per hour. I mean, you pay people's services per hour. They earn per hour over here. So you have to calculate some of these things. Some maybe weekly, I don't know. But the point is, you need to really think well about how your child is going to be taken care of. Outsourcing is also not a problem for us back home. So we have situations where even middle income earners back in Africa, back in Ghana, back in Nigeria, you have somebody who comes to clean for you, you have a gate man, you have some people have chefs. Okay, that's a bit extra, but let's just keep it at a normal level. So you have a cleaner, you have a nanny who takes care of your children, you have a gatesman, you have an electrician if there are faults in the house, you have a driver. When Accra traffic hits you and Lagos traffic, you have a driver. You have people you can outsource. It's not really a problem. The way things are in the world right now, even back home, it's not a matter of affluence. It's not a matter of status quo. Is a matter of convenience. Is a matter of what is important. Is a matter of scale of preference. Am I willing to do this? How much time will I spend doing this? Why don't I outsource? Over here, it's not exactly that simple. And the reason for that is all these outsourcing are very expensive. That's why here they encourage a lot of DIY. So if something breaks in your house, if it doesn't really need a professional, fix it, man. Fix it. Back home, we are so spoiled. And I love it for us. It's lovely. It's nice. Convenience. We love convenience back home. So there are people you can pay to do these things for you. But over here, it doesn't exactly work that way because you're going to pay a lot. And sometimes you look at it, the way the system works here, you look at it, is it really necessary? Although people do it, don't get me wrong, go. If you can't do it, nobody's stopping you from doing it. But like I said, you have to wait here. Back home too, that's why we are sourced, because we wait. Oh, am I willing to spend my time driving? I'm getting tired driving to work, driving back, I'm exhausted. But I mean, if you don't want to do it, you can outsource. If you don't want to do it here too, you can outsource. But when you come here, you understand that those things are kind of a luxury. Yeah, at home, it's not a luxury. It's normal. It's normal to have a driver. But here, it's kind of luxury because of the way the place is. Yeah, I think so. But it's not bad if you can afford it. If it's something you want to do, if it's something you want to splurge on, please, by all means, you can. I'm not here to discourage you. I'm just here stating some of the things that we cannot relate to. That some people might find as a shock when they come here. So it's not a big deal. Have fun. Over here, it's a credit system. Back home, it's pay as you go. There's nothing like credit system except you take loans from bank or from people. But the way we work, the way we operate back home is pay as you go. I'm going to get this item, this chair. I have to pay. I have to have the money. But over here, you don't have to have the money because you can pay with your credit card and then get the item and pay it over time. So many times I've heard people say, which I kind of believe, the system here in America is designed to keep you in debt. That is how it is. So you have to consciously make an effort not to remain in debt. As you are paying with credit, when you get your money, you pay back. You always have to pay back. If not, before you know it, it has accumulated and is choking you. And there's interest. Yo. So let me give you a classic example how that is designed to keep you in debt, and everything you earn is like it's going back into the system. So it's like a recycling system. It's recycling. They pay you, you're putting it back. You as a single person, you earn like $2,000 a month. That's accumulation. And then you pay your rent of maybe, let's just say, like $1,000. Then you buy groceries. Let's just say for a month, give or take. That's excluding eating out. That one is not part of it. Like you just buy groceries. Let's say, I don't know. People are going to come for me, but let's just say like $300. If you want to eat well, eat healthy, eat clean, let's say 300 to 500. Just a rough estimate, depending on how you eat or what you're prioritizing. Anyway, depending for the whole month, it includes fruits, vegetables, protein, and all of that. You can do it for like between 200 and 300. Depends if it's just you. Me, I don't feed just myself, so I cannot exactly say, guys. So let's just say 300, for instance. That's already 1,003. You have $700 left. Then you're going to pay your car loan. You have a car because you need to commute. If you're in a place like Virginia here where the transport is in the mud, transport is not great, you need a car, right? So you pay your car loan, let's just say, and you pay insurance, yes. Let's say insurance about 100 and something. Let's just say 150. That's already 1,450, right? Is left with 550. So you pay a bit of your car loan. Let's just say you put in like maybe $200. I'm just giving a rough estimate so that you guys can understand what I'm talking about. So it's about 350 left. That 350, let's say you're going to save, right? Let's say you save about 200, right? And then you have like 150 left. You're going to buy gas for the whole month, which will be more than that $50 depending on the distance. So you see that the money is more or less. How did I omit phone bill? A very important bill to be paid. It includes your calls, your internet, and the likes. So include that in the list. Thank you. Gone. It's gone. C'est fini. Asa, finish. What it is over. It's finished. So by the time you remove here, it's all gone. So by the time you are saving, or even there's no extra like that for any splurging per se. So that's just how the system works. Of course, I'm just giving you an abstract example, right? So you can kind of have an idea. You then maybe in the middle of a month your phone spoils and you need your phone for work. You have to pay with your credit because what's left with you is like $150 for the month. Where are you gonna get like 1,002 to buy a new phone? Where are you gonna get it from? So you have to use your credits. Just that's just how it works. And the way this country works is no, the credit system, they are monitoring what you're doing. So if they see that your credit is good, they send you a card and kind of tease you to say, oh, come and join us, come and collect credit from us. So yeah, you have to be very wise about that. That's something that some of us might come here and just fall into the debt system without even knowing how you got there. So yeah, we need to be wise about these things. We need to be really, really careful. Another thing is the extreme weather. America is made up of 50 states. Not all 50 states have the same weather. Not all 50 states are cold. It doesn't snow in all 50 states. Not all 50 states are hot. Some are warmer than some. Some are colder than some. Some is steadily snowing. Hi Alaska, how you doing? So some is steadily snowing, some is in between. So wherever you're relocating to, wherever you're moving to, you need to know what the weather is like there. But right now we're going towards the end of fall. When towards the end of fall, is winter is fast approaching. It's getting really really cold. Yeah. So the past summer, I'm like, some days it's so hot, hotter than back home, hotter than Accra. You all know that Accra is actually hotter than Lagos. I'm using this too, like I said earlier. Accra is actually hotter than Lagos. Accra sun is very brutal. And when I was in Ghana, I only got sunburnt, was it twice or so? Even despite the fact that Accra sun was really hot, I only got sunburned maybe twice or so. But here, it's as if, it's as though I was sunburned throughout the summer. Especially when I go to swim, because I mean, that's one of the best activities to do in summer over here. So, ah, I got sunburned too. It wasn't even a joke. I'm still trying to recover till now. Yeah, so it can be brutal. That's what people don't really say it much. And then yes, don't let all the Christmas movies we watch deceive you. It doesn't snow as often as the television, as the movies portray it. That's not the case. It's not like that everywhere. So some they see snow maybe once in a blue moon. Some they see snow very often, right? Some they literally live in snow, more or less. Hi, Alaska. Another one that is very dear to my heart is geriatrics care. That's care for elderly people, older people. You know, back home, we take pride in taking care of our parents. We take pride in taking care of our older ones because, um, kind of, no, aside from, oh, it's a blessing, but we just feel like we should take care of our parents. So you have your elderly parents living with you, maybe both of them or one of them living with you, or living with your siblings, or you have a help with them in their house, you know. But here it is not the case. So the way the system is like, it's like nobody owes you anything. Let me give you a few examples. So one YouTuber I follow, she's an American. She talked about how her father, who lives alone, I think in his 70s, he fell. Well, long and short, when they tried to contact him, they weren't able to get through to him, so they sent help. They sent like a welfare check. They should go and check on him and all of that. And then found out that he had slumped. He had been on the floor without food or water for about 4 or 5 days. Of course, there was a lot of damage. Like, he suffered a stroke. That's why he fell in the first place. So it was a lot of damage. So I won't go into details, but yeah, when I heard it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, oh Father Lord. Like I was just trying to put myself in the person's shoes, like, hey God, if the man had somebody with him, this would not have happened. I'm not even saying he must live with his daughter, but if there was help with him, you see, I'm not saying these things don't happen back home. They do, but it's not a very common phenomenon. It's not very common. The other day I saw an elderly couple. If I'm correct, that man should probably be in his 80s, 90s, and he was pushing his wife in a wheelchair. She too, probably in her 70s or thereabout, but they were very, very, very old. The man was pushing his wife in a wheelchair. He left her in front of the car, then entered the car to, I think, start the car and, prep it to be able to lift her into the car because, I mean, she's on a wheelchair. I'm like, God, I beg you. My heart couldn't take it. The way it is here, you can't just go and help somebody. Better mind yourself, stay on your lane. But I just felt like back home, this will not really happen. Except they don't have children, or I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. It's not really something that we see very well back home. So here it's more like nobody owes you anything. Everybody's living their life. No parents coming to stay in their daughter or son's house. Nobody's doing that. You see. Anyway, it's also a good thing here because there are a lot of old people's homes, and it avails people the job opportunity to be a carer for these elderly people. So yes, back home little by little, we are having old people's homes and things. That scene I saw with it really struck something in me. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about it, because I just feel there should be someone in the house with them as well. Yeah, so that's another thing we can relate to back home. We take care of our older ones. They come to live with us, or we go and live with them, depending on your situation, or we send people to go and live with them to take care of them for us, and we pay them. So it is well. We got to take charge, because Charlie, I don't even know what to say about it. I know this one, a lot of people talk about it, but living in the US, living abroad, is not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all cute and oh, they are living bougie life. Hey, they are balling. It's not that simple, because people are working their hands off. People are in the cold just to earn a living here. And sometimes this is for you people back home. This one is for you back home. And sometimes some of us back home, we're not merciful with our requests. We just ask, we just make demands without actually even knowing when people are going through here. We make demands without actually knowing how people are struggling. You want them to send you money back home, but do you know the kind of life they are living here? Hey, Lord. Some of the things I hear, I'm like, if we don't have conscience, so the person, maybe your brother is here, is literally squatting with somebody, or is in a shared apartment, but you are living in your own 2 3 bedroom, just you with your family, but is having to share an apartment with someone. He's entering the bus to work. You have a car back home, you're chilling, and you're asking, oh, why don't you buy me, oh, the latest iPhone, the latest. What do you think it is that there's money on the floor? What exactly do you think it is? I'm here to do the Lord's work, and that also means speaking the truth to you guys. What are you thinking? Like, what's in your head? What's your thought process like? Because we cannot relate back home. We feel like, oh, we think it's just so simple. Just send money, and it's not that simple. There's also another thing that we back home, those of us back in Africa, we sometimes do this. We think it, some of us think it, some of us say it. Or when, for instance, let me give you an example. You ask your friend here to buy you this notepad, for instance, and the friend says, oh, I can't find the notepad. And the next thing you hear is, so you mean in the whole of America you can't find this notepad? Are you really serious? Wow, you can't find it. And you, the friend in America, and like, okay, so am I supposed to roam the whole America looking for this particular item? It doesn't work that way. Somebody has to be on the internet telling you guys these things. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. If they don't find it, they don't find it. You can say they can order online, whatever, but if they don't find it, just leave it. They don't find it, they can't find it. Just let them be. You see, let's cut them some slack. Those of us here, those back home should cut those people here, cut them some slack. I know, yes, it seems like, oh, they traveled abroad, so they are opportuned to a better life. I put that in quotes. They earn more if you convert it to your currency back home. I understand all that reasoning, but let's sometimes be considerate with our requests. Let's be considerate with the things we say, the things we do, the way we view people here that are from Africa, the way our people back home view those of us. Me, I'm an ambassador for Africa. I'm an ambassador. In the future, I may do a part 2 of this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you are here in diaspora in America, let me know what your thoughts are. Can you relate to some of the things I've said? What were some of the things that shocked you as an African when you got here? I saw some comments. Some people have been here since the year 2000. That's a long time. I've seen that a lot of you have been here for so long. So let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are about what I've said, and if what I've said is actually the reality for some of you who came here. And for those of you back home, do your research. It doesn't hurt to ask people, those who know roads, ask them for advice and all of that. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.